He calls them all Alps. Even during the summer.
Karen Toohill.
The Alps were, yeah. Greetings, movie fans. You're all very welcome to the Big Reviewski with Omniplex Cinemas and my Omnipass. My name is Eoghan Doherty. There's Justine Stafford. There's Paul Moore. There's Rory Cashin. And last but not least, there is Denise Curtin. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
It's full house.
Five of us on the one show today.
I don't know how
It's
believe
rare. I don't think it's ever happened before.
It's I don't know how we fit it all on.
It's actually, if you're wondering, for everybody who's listening at the moment, you can't actually see Justine and Paul, but
I see what you're
what
doing.
is it? What is it, Rory? What am I doing? What really tenuous joke am I trying to make?
An invisible man joke.
It's an invisible man joke because on today's show, we have a full
Look how
review.
upset you made.
Denise is raging already. Paul is right behind you. Look.
I looked over and she was like,
I was like, hear the dad jokes already. We're only,
No
what,
daddy
a
jokes.
minute in?
No daddy
"Dad
jokes.
jokes, yes,
Yes,
daddy
tick.
jokes, no."
No, not zaddy. No, that's not a zaddy joke.
It's
That's
not
a
a- it's not a
dad
joke.
joke. Full stop.
So we will have a full review of The Invisible Man coming up later on the show. We'll also have interviews with two of the stars, Elisabeth Moss
Yes.
and Oliver, I always get these two, his double barrel name, Jackson-Cohen?
Yes, it's the one you think it shouldn't be.
Yes,
Yeah.
got it. So they will be coming up later on in the show. I'm not going to make any more Invisible Man jokes, that's
We'll
it.
see.
I do wish that I was an Invisible Man today because it turns
So
out...
do we.
Turns out that me and Rory are wearing the exact same clothes.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Denise, why are you not wearing a navy jumper?
yeah, I get that I'm not on this show often, but you could at least, brief
Give me
me
a
on
heads
the
up.
on the clothes to wear. Like
It's navy jumper week.
Had it been a week earlier, it would have been. We
polo
all would have
week.
been grey polar with a white.
t-shirt over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what's going on here.
And
a
our
gold
leather
chain
pants are
that I was
just in
made
the
take off.
wash.
Yeah.
Yes. Denise, it's great to have you back on the Big Reviewski. You're very welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
Are you excited about today's show,
I'm very excited.
in spite of the opening?
In spite of the opening, yeah, we you can only go up from here. Actually,
It's true. Well, actually, you'd be surprised.
There is possible to stay flat.
Yeah.
If you would like to get in touch with the Big Reviewski, you can tweet us at Big Reviewski, or you can get in touch on Instagram or Facebook or text us or phone us. The lines are waiting. The
I'd love if
phones
we
are
dim
waiting.
the lights, but like the lines are now open.
The lines are officially open. Right.
Yeah.
That's that. And don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah.
Crucial. Now it's time for the big question on the Big Review Scheme. For this week's big question, it's over to our superstar guest, Denise Curtin.
Thank you. I feel really excited to do the big question today.
I'm excited to
Great
hear it.
moment. So
I appreciate
you
that
ready?
you're excited.
Which inanimate object terrified you the most in a movie?
So I was a bit confused about this at the start.
How?
Just, I'm easily confused, full stop. So which inanimate object
In a film ever?
ever has just scared you?
And it's
Has
because
terrified you.
we're chatting about The Boy 2,
Yes.
which has a doll in it.
So
An
is this a
evil
real
doll.
film? The Boy, Brahms,
fake
The
film.
Boy 2?
Well, I hope it's real. I spent time watching the guy.
Watching it.
Well, we'll get to it.
So in that movie, it's a horror movie, obviously.
Yes.
And we're going to have a full review of that later on as well.
Yes.
Why do I always say full reviews? Like we're going to have like
Two-thirds
of a review.
And I thought,
Yeah.
and then it's got quiet.
I wonder what I thought. But in that, there's a creepy boy doll.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a little doll that terrifies people.
Okay.
So based on that, the question is this week, has there been a film where you've been creeped out by something that shouldn't be alive?
Oh, okay.
Or not alive?
Or
Just
not
something
alive.
that's
Dead
possessed.
inside. Dead inside, yeah.
An inanimate
Okay.
object that's possessed, or something that comes to life and gets possessed. Anything that just
Okay.
shouldn't be something that could scare you.
So initially, well, what did you go for, first of all?
So I went for The Ring, for the VHS tape in The Ring. Yeah, so
The tape, of course.
very, very scary. I think this film came out in like 2002. I don't know what age I was then, but too young to be watching The Ring. And to say that film freaked the life out of me for so long. Samara coming through the screen, nope. Possessed tape, again, no. Passing it around to kill other people?
Another no.
Absolutely not, no. So yeah, I was very, very terrified about putting in a tape, getting that static, and then seeing loads of creepy images on the screen.
Were you delighted with the introduction of DVDs and Blu-rays?
Very excited, yeah. All VHS tapes got the bin in
Burn
my
them.
house. Burned them, jumping around outside a bonfire, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Throwing them onto the pyre. Okay. Yeah, I still have a whole bunch of VHS at home, but
Me too.
yeah,
A lot of it's stuff that I just recorded off the telly.
yeah. The one on late night Channel 5. Gotcha. I hear you.
Wait, but you still have a VHS player?
Player, yes.
There is one in the
wow,
house.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
it's
one.
not like attached to anything at the moment, but it is there.
You're like,
Still
mine is.
works. Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
And do you have to rewind the tape and then
Yeah, that's the
play
way.
it forward? Is that a saying? Play it forward.
Play it forward. It's
play.
a film starring J. Hole Osmond. That's not his name. Play it forward, yeah. You
Yeah.
hit play and it goes forward. That's the
Okay.
way the tape works. But still, to this day, have you ever gone back and revisited The Ring?
I did. It was on TV, I feel like, maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
And I sat down and watched it again. I was like, okay, not as bad as I remember.
Yeah.
But I still get stuck with the initial fear from watching it the first time.
Yeah.
Another film, The Mummy, did that to me as well, funnily enough. Used to give me
The
the
Brendan
action.
Fraser one.
Yeah.
That's like a romp, like
I know,
a comic
but back in
caper
the day,
adventure.
I thought this is
Terrifying.
Fear. This is what fear
horror.
feels like.
The horror has peaked with The Mummy. And Brendan
I'm never
Fraser.
going to ancient Egypt again.
But yeah, the VHS tape, inanimate object that is terrifying,
Okay.
is my one for
That's a
this
great
week.
shout.
Thank
Happy
you.
days. Whose go was it next?
Mine,
Yours. What did you go for?
the book from the Babadook.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Babadook?
Babadook.
I mean, okay.
Paul, the sound guy, liked it. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Are you going Baba? Does he not go Bada Duke? No?
He goes
Babadook.
the title of the
Babadook.
film. Yeah.
But he, Owen,
Hello.
in his peerless comedy manner,
Yeah.
decided to say Baba Book.
I love that you have to explain all his jokes to me today. They're
Well,
really
All
not
of them.
hidden.
No, there'll be one.
I-
You get one.
The one I
Exactly.
don't explain will be the funny one.
Yeah,
We just have to
okay.
wait for that one.
So the book in this, yes,
Yes.
utterly terrifying. I don't really want to
it-
talk about this.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Fecking terrifying.
Yeah.
Like absolutely scary.
Because I enjoyed that. Like it's like the mom is trying to get through trauma.
Yeah.
And the son as well. She's never quite sure if it's just the ma who's going mad and maybe upsetting her own kid
Yeah.
until the dude in the hat
And I
shows
think
up.
that's what makes it scarier because you're constantly like, what's going
This
on?
could just be her.
And I can't watch this because I'm looking from under my blankets.
It's the thing, he looks like Noel Fielding from The Mighty Bush as well.
Yeah.
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 Which kind of made it easier for me as Spirit of Jazz. But then it's also utterly terrifying.
Yeah, like look at the size of it. He's going to eat that poor child.
No,
in the
your
bed.
head is blocking the picture, and I'm
Good.
really happy with that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
It's also from my angle, it just looks like a little speech bubble that says "Let me in."
Let me in. So, right, the book from the Babadook.
Yeah. So the
Okay.
man and
That's
the
a good
son, they
one.
find the book, and by reading the book, then they invite this demon into their lives, or do they? They do, but you don't know that immediately. It's it was a fantastic horror movie, and it's all because of a book, which is why I don't read.
And you're dead right, 100%. No VHSs, no books.
Yeah. If Babadook told you
Literally
anything, it's don't
wiping
read.
out every kind of medium.
All
that we
art
can watch. All
in the
art.
bin.
Get rid of it. Right, well, speaking of art, I've gone for a painting.
Ah, well.
Yeah, so the collection is complete. So I've actually given this answer before, but for another big question.
Okay, because I was chatting to Fiona, and she Fiona, who does all the fantastic stuff behind the scenes here.
Hello, Fiona.
Was like, one of the answers I think was already an answer, and I was like, we'll get
It
to it.
was an answer for a separate big question, but it is 100% the correct answer for me for this
For me.
particular for me. I feel like this is right for me right now in my life.
Can you tell us what the other? Can you remember what
I'm
the other
trying
question
to
was?
remember
I
what it
can't remember
was.
either.
No.
Anyway.
But anyway, I don't really want to see his picture. Here is Vigo the Carpathian. There he is. Absolutely scary bastard.
Quite the looker.
Yeah, he is.
1989, Ghostbusters 2. Basically, in terms of an inanimate object, he's in a New York museum. He has a painting that comes to life, and basically the Ghostbusters have to stop him because he wants to possess. Always about the possession.
Always the possession.
Yeah, a baby in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I remember as it
Sigourney
was-
Weaver's baby.
I know, that's right. You leave Sigourney Weaver's baby alone.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, I remember whenever I was talking about this guy before, doing a bit of background reading on him, and it all came back. And I don't know why we don't talk about him more. His name in real life is Norbert Group.
Oh, the actor.
The actor.
Okay.
Norbert Group.
Norbert Group.
Oh, that's very
Grupe,
unfortunate.
isn't it?
Yeah.
You say unfortunate, that's why he gave himself a stage name and he became a wrestler and his
He looks like a wrestler,
doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's got the build, the physique for it. He changed his name to Prince Wilhelm von Homburg.
Can you do that?
I mean, you
He
can.
He can.
You should,
He can
like
do whatever he
that's
wants.
going too far the other way, I think.
Yeah. Then he dropped the prince. He just became Wilhelm von Humburg.
That's like the male equivalent of Princess Banana Hammock from like when Phoebe renamed herself on Friends. That's what she called herself, didn't she?
This is it's the
All
exact.
those names sound like some
same.
sort of infection.
A little bit,
Yeah.
and then he renamed
Yeah.
himself to Coronavirus, and then he was finally Vigo the Carpathian.
Foot and mouth.
Yeah, pretty much. So this guy, I remember whenever I was growing up, myself and my younger brother Lorcan, we used to share bunk beds. I was the top, Lorcan the bottom, and at the end of the bed, we used to have one of the corners of the bunk beds. There was a pile of dressing gowns, and in the middle of the night, the window.
How many dressing gowns did you have?
So many dressing gowns. Our bedroom was also known as the dressing gown room. Everybody in the house, there were 37 of us.
Wow.
We all kept our dressing gowns at the end of my bed.
I feel like that's a conversation for another
Episode.
That's
A special.
Dressing gowns. But whenever light used to come in from the window at the back of the room, it would kind of hit the pile of dressing gowns and it would form a silhouette that was the exact same shape as his head. So, and then kind of moving out like that. So I would wake up in the middle of the night and think that Vigo the Carpathian / Norbert Group was standing at the end of my bed. Norbert! Get out of my room.
He's got more important stuff to do.
Yeah.
You think that, other than terrifying like an 8-year-old boy, his younger brother.
And his dressing gowns.
Lorcan was never scared. He didn't have the right angle. He was under. Forget about it.
It's all off.
It was only me. So yeah, that was my answer. Vigo the Carpathian. So
Yeah, he creeped me out a lot when I was younger too. Because there's a scene that's actually I don't think even involves him where he has the guy who was in is it Peter McNichol?
Peter. It is Peter McNichol. Yeah,
And
Who's in Ally McBeal,
he's like a nanny who flies through the sky and then just snatches the child from the windowsill. I remember that bit freaked me out.
also scary.
So
So we got videos,
yes,
books,
yes,
and painting.
Paintings.
perfect.
So he
So
said
all art.
film, books, and painting. Okay, yeah, every single. That's okay.
That's why.
That's why. Denise, thanks for that big question.
My pleasure.
If you have any inanimate objects in your life, I always think of in Bruges just whenever I say the phrase. And fucking inanimate object.
We'll need to beat that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll beat that. Yes, if you have any that utterly terrified you whenever you were growing up, or maybe even more recently, please do let us know. Right. What's next? The big trailer on the Big Reviewski. What have we got, Rory?
Spiral. Have you heard of Spiral?
We woke up.
Okay.
In the bin with it.
So you sent on this big trailer for us to have a wee look at, and again, I didn't think it was a real film. I thought it was like an SNL kind of parody. Or
I
something.
understand why you would think
Yeah.
that. So, it's from the book of Saw. Mm-hmm. I didn't know Saw was a book, but here we are. And it's got Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson in it. So two legitimately good actors in a long delayed sequel to the Saw movies. I think this is the 9th one in the series as well.
Holy guacamole.
Yeah, so before I get like too detailed into it, here is a clip, and then I'll come back and I'm just gonna talk this out because there's some stuff I want to talk about.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Here's a wee look at
Okay.
Spiral.
Whoever did this has another motive. They're targeting cops.
This shit's gonna go sideways fast.
Someone's out there pulling all the strings.
So I was going to talk more about Spiral, but you have a scalding hot
I know.
surface of the sun take
Breaking news.
on Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah,
Denise
so
Curtin.
I was over in London and I went to see Mr. Glass. Didn't know what I had myself set up for. Worst film I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Samuel L. Jackson starred in it. Had to look at his face for a long time. Made me angry about him. Now I'm like, do I like Samuel L. Jackson? I don't know.
Gosh.
I think the answer is yes. I love him. I think he's fantastic.
But did you sit through Mr. Glass?
No, but I did watch Glass, the movies. But no, I don't mind him in that. But you, like, As you said, Rory, I don't think it's his fault that the film maybe wasn't
No, I
quite
didn't.
as
I
fantastic.
didn't like that film either.
No.
I remember because Paul was here and he was defending it, and I was having none of it.
And I was shouting, fight, fight, fight.
Wait,
no
did,
back.
Paul
and now
thought
he's
it was
not here.
good. See,
Yeah, he did.
I
He did.
honestly thought it was trash.
He's right
like.
there.
Yeah,
Just
Paul,
say it
come
to him.
on.
Come on, Paul. What are you doing?
He's sulking.
But yeah, this is a funny kind of a feel to a movie because Chris Rock in a serious role.
Yeah,
And then Samuel L. Jackson pops up, which feels like a cameo, but then there's a lot of them in the trailer as well.
but that could be all of them.
Yeah, that could be all of them.
Yeah, so it's. Have you seen any of the Saw movies?
I have saw none of the Saw movies.
Have you seen any of the Saw movies?
I have not saw any of the Scene movies.
Fab. Have you?
I have. I think I've seen the fifth one,
Just the fifth one?
fourth or
Saw
fifth one.
5.
That's what a great way to come in. Because the Saw movies were almost like the Marvel movies. If you come in watching Infinity War, you'd be like, what? So it's the same with like Saw 4 or 5. Like, remember when we killed her with the needles 3 films ago? And you're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So
I know there's like they love doing jigsaws that are really dangerous in it. So whenever you put the jigsaw pieces together, then your life is in danger.
Is that a joke?
Sort of.
Weird way of describing a film as well.
There is a killer in it called Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Told you.
And there was that movie in the Saw series called Jigsaw.
Also told you, yeah.
But there are no jigsaws in the movies.
I must have saw a different one.
I love that Jigsaw gets to ride a tricycle. That now is chilling.
That's funny.
Yeah.
There's another inanimate object, a tricycle. Yeah.
But
A bicycle.
in the very, very first one, Danny Glover is like a police officer who's investigating the murder of people by the Jigsaw person. And I feel Sam Jackson is playing a version of Danny Glover's role.
Ah, right, okay.
But yeah, Chris Rock, Chris Rock, I feel, must have seen like what Jordan Peele was doing, was like, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Because he also co-wrote Spiral.
Oh, okay.
But it's been directed by the guy who directed Saw 2, 3, and 4, which were all quite bad. So, yeah, I just don't know.
Mixed
I'm
feelings
curious.
on it.
And you know the way I'm very, very good at guessing the outcome of a movie based on the trailer? I did it with Last Christmas.
Yes, true. Well, everybody did it with Last Christmas.
I
Come
did,
on.
but I got it like almost down to a T.
So you feel you've got a theory about Spiral,
Yeah.
the Book of Saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. As in
Okay.
who the killer is.
Okay, go for it.
It's the white guy in the car with with Chris Rock, the other,
His
the new
partner.
police officer. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's him. So
Okay.
now you don't need to go see it,
I mean,
or do, and I'll be wrong.
well, when is the movie out?
Good question. 15th of May here,
15th of May. Okay.
so
Got
not
some
long to
time.
go. Like
Yeah, relatively soon.
2.5 months.
We'll
8
put
weeks?
Rory's theory to the test and find out whether the new rookie partner is the killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, grand. So Spiral, the Book of Saw, coming out very, very soon in the 15th of May.
Yes,
Inside the 15th of May.
inside.
Okay, that is the big trailer for this week. You can watch the full trailer up on Joe as well. Now, though, it's time for those interviews we promised you, and we always keep a promise here in the Big Reviewski. We have got interviews with Elisabeth Moss, who is just one of the greatest actors. I think she's fantastic.
Yeah.
Obviously, most people will know her from her TV career. She started out Zoe Bartlett in The West Wing.
Yes.
She's also the star of The Handmaid's Tale, and she's Peggy frickin' Olsen in Mad Men as well.
And she was a Girl Interrupted back in the day.
Was she?
Yeah.
Amazing.
With Winona and Angelina. She was in that.
Unbelievable. So she's a really talented actor. And then she was in Us.
Yes.
Just last year as well. So now she's back as the star of The Invisible Man, along with her co-star Oliver Jackson-Cohen. Rory, you had a chance to meet them both.
I did, yeah. They were both lovely. I think everyone has... Elisabeth Moss is like one of those actresses who, when you're like, oh, I'm chatting to Elisabeth Moss, who's that again? And then you list everything that she's in. You're like, I
my
love
God,
her.
she's
Yeah.
She's always the best thing that she's in. And Oliver Jackson-Cohen, most people will probably remember from The Haunting of Hill House. But he's been around for ages. Like, he's been working since he was 15 on like Hollyoaks and stuff. So they're together in The Invisible Man. And we'll do a clip of that first, and then I'll come back and have a little talk about what Elisabeth had to say.
Okie dokie. Here's a clip of The Invisible Man from the Book of Saw.
If you can see them.
It just doesn't make any sense.
What?
Adrian wouldn't kill himself.
Listen, you're getting your freedom back, okay? Don't let him haunt you.
Hello? He was a sociopath, completely in control of everything. He said that wherever I went, he would find me, walk right up to me, and I wouldn't be able to see him.
I like the look of it.
Well, it's a scary film, so I don't think that's true.
No, but I do love Elisabeth Moss.
Yeah.
And even though Oliver Jackson-Cohen is in this movie
Yes.
as the Invisible Man, he still looks good in it as well.
He's a good-looking man.
You
certainly
get
is.
snippets of him in it.
Snippets.
There's little bits.
Yeah. This is a revamp of the old monster movie version of it from Universal Studios, yes?
Yeah, based
'Cause
on
they
the
were-
even older book.
I didn't know it was a book. I thought they were barred.
Well, no, that's just us.
That's just us, not
We
in
just-
life,
nope.
not in the world.
No, for
Okay,
us. No,
okay.
thank you. Yeah, so it was because this was originally meant to be Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man, but like centered on him when it was Tom Cruise as the Mummy, and then it was,
in their dark universe
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
were going to do. Okay, gotcha.
and then that didn't go well. So they were like, let's do smaller and maybe a bit more interesting, and that's exactly what they've done. So when I was chatting to Elisabeth, have you seen Us?
No.
All right, do you watch The Handmaid's Tale?
Yes.
I think she has a very specific look of determination in her eyes.
Yeah.
And I've noticed it in like everything that she does. And she does it really well. She's doing it right now.
She has. It's also kind of a look of her spiraling,
Yeah.
isn't it? She looks like she's internally spiraling. She's really good at
Yeah.
portraying that. Yeah.
So I pointed it out to her as like, you have what I now refer to as the Elisabeth Moss look, where
Yeah.
it's just perfect.
Oh God, Denise, that's good.
She's
Get that down
spiraling.
the lens. Okay, here we go.
My God. Elisabeth
And
Moss,
slow
are you here?
zoom, slow zoom. The cameras don't do that.
Can't
Just
do it.
pretend
Yeah.
it's a slow zoom.
Just if you're at home,
Our
just
crew
get
of
close.
50.
Yeah. Move closer.
So I asked her, like, was she aware that this was something she
Yeah.
did, and
Are you aware you're staring, sir?
does she have to go to a particular place to, get that level of intensity? And this is what she had to say. There's a specific look in this, and I've seen it in Us, and I've seen it in The Handmaid's Tale, and I'm now referring to it as the Elisabeth Moss look, where it's a mix of crazy and determined and scared and angry, and it's all in the eyes simultaneously. Is there a place that you go, or is there a lesson you can give if someone wants to just shorthand that
Yeah,
kind
and
of?
I won't be able to do it anymore. Now you've
I
ruined
popped
it.
the bubble.
You've absolutely popped the bubble. I'll be like, I'm doing it now.
I'm doing the Elisabeth Moss look.
I'm doing the Elizabeth Moss. I'm scared. And
That's it right there. You're
I'm
doing it.
angry and I'm determined. No, there's no place I go. I guess I just try to put myself in. It sounds so silly and simple, but I try to put myself in the circumstances of the character.
Elisabeth Moss, did the Elisabeth Moss stare to you?
Potentially for the last time ever.
Potentially, because you've called her out now.
Yeah.
Well,
you've discovered her secret.
I just don't want her leaning on these crutches,
Do better, Elizabeth.
Yeah,
it's
come
like
on.
somebody if they're playing a game of poker and they've got a tell and you've just called her out in it.
It's crazy face. She's doing it.
That's what it is.
So the other thing, well, you can watch the whole interview. It's up on Joe on the YouTube now, but
the
YouTubes. But it's because she's got some fantastic films coming out soon, and both of them feature prominent, much loved Irish actors. One is The French Dispatch with Saoirse Ronan, and one is Next Goal Wins, which is Taika Waititi's next movie.
So Wes Anderson for French Dispatch.
Yeah.
And Taika Waititi for amazing.
Yeah, and Fassbender's in Next Goal Wins. So I asked, any thoughts on working with Irish people?
Yeah.
Is you swearing it off?
looking for a gig?
Or is it all good?
Yeah, exactly.
And this is what she had to say. I believe recently you've worked with two of our favourite people, Saoirse Ronan for
yeah.
French Dispatch and Michael Fassbender for Next Goal Wins.
Yes.
Can you tell us how it was working with the two of them?
Yes, I actually worked with Saoirse on The Seagull, but she's in French Dispatch, you're absolutely correct, but we just didn't have any scenes together. And she's absolutely lovely. Have you met her?
I've met her, but I've never interviewed her because she's like always in Ireland.
Yeah.
So Ireland's too small not to run into each other.
Right, exactly. She gives Ireland a real good name. She's a really, really lovely gal. And Fassbender, too. Fassbender's like... First of all, the man is so good at improv, and I had no idea. I think of him as
A very
Fassbender,
serious
quite
actor,
serious
yeah.
actor. The man is hilarious. I was shocked, honestly, and I think people are going to be really kind of bowled over by him because he's really funny, and his ability to improv is absolutely remarkable. I've always been impressed by him as a dramatic actor, and I saw this whole new side, which was really cool.
Amazing. So she's shocked that Fassbender's funny.
Okay.
And do you know what we're shocked about?
What are you shocked about?
That she's shocked.
That none of your dad jokes are landing.
What? Did I make a daddy joke?
All of them. Every Invisible
You
Man
have to
joke so
stop
far.
saying daddy joke as well. We can't be okay with that. Daddy joke.
You come on
Did
here
I make a
for
daddy
the first
joke?
time in ages. That's not my voice.
That's what you're saying it like. Did I make a daddy joke?
That's not the way
how
I
you're
talk.
saying it.
I can't even play with
that's how I'm hearing it.
That's right. Well, that's your ears' fault,
No,
not
did I
mine.
make a dad joke? You can't say, did I make a daddy joke? That's creepy.
Anyway, I'm surprised that she's surprised that Michael Fassbender is funny. Because obviously he's funny.
Why is that obvious though?
Because
Yeah, I
he's
don't
Irish.
think it's that obvious.
Well, you're Irish. But like I think you just assume you associate him with like Shame, not terribly funny. 12 Years a Slave.
Shame is very Irish
not
too, though.
terribly funny. Hunger, not terribly funny. Like we've seen him kind of in Frank, so we know he can be funny.
Yeah.
But even at that, if you remember how it ends, it's like, oh, this actually isn't funny at all. But yeah, I was surprised to hear that he was funny because I've never known him to tell a joke. So that's got me very excited for Next Guy Wins. But I assume Taika Waititi knows what he's doing. He's not just going to hire some rando, unfunny person to be the head of his next big comedy.
Yeah, no,
So,
they definitely know each other in better detail than we would.
Definitely.
She's right.
So, Elisabeth, wonderful.
Yes.
Now, Oliver.
Yeah.
So, Rory,
Okay.
you've fallen in love now, haven't you?
It's happened a few times.
It happens every week.
A few times a day.
Every single week, walking
I'm
down the
just
street. Who's that person? I'm in love with them.
I love you. Yeah, no, there's a right. So when I walked into the room first, you would know this, and you'd know this as well from doing junkets. Normally, when you go into peeking behind the camera here, there is like a very intricate setup of cameras and backdrops and microphones, and you have to kind of make your gauntlet to the chair and you shake hands. He got up out of his chair when I came into the room and came over to me and shook my hand, and I was like, "Gentlemen,"
Great start.
which is difficult for him to do because he's about, I think he's 6'4", 6'5".
And he has to negotiate
Yeah.
his way around all that equipment.
So then when we sat down, we had a little bit of banter that is not on the video, unfortunately, about how they had
X-rated.
to fix both of our cameras because when we sat up, we were both cut off from here. So I just knew immediately we were going to be best friends.
A connection,
Yeah,
if you will.
Yeah. So we had a long, lovely chat about his role in this and how he had a bit of an easy time in it because he's here, but
For
is
a
he
lot
here?
of it. It's like Justine and Paul in
I was
this
just
week's
going to
show.
say, they haven't really said much about
No.
this film.
Thoughts? Any opinion on it?
Holding the cards close to their chest over there. And if you've seen The Invisible Man,
I did. I went to see the premiere. Yeah, it's really, really good. I loved it.
but the opening scene, he's asleep
And
for
it's
most of it.
scary.
And he's still scary, but he's asleep.
Sleepy scary.
Sleepy scary. Like creeping out of a room, don't wake up scary.
Yeah. So we'll get back to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think he had an easy time of it. So we chatted about that too. But the bit,
Sorry, did you go into these two interviews and just insult the people? Like, one, it's like,
I
see
like-
that stare you're doing? I know you do.
You've got a weird
every
face.
single thing.
I like to bring them
You had an
down
easy
to
time.
my level. Just neg them out until they just tell me what I want to
Two
hear.
incredibly talented, lovely human beings. You're
Are
like,
they,
I'll
though?
tell you another thing about it.
But whenever I chat to people who are doing horror movies, I always try to ask, what's your favorite scary movie? And I asked Oliver, and you'll hear his answer now, but it turns out there is a reason why maybe he keeps getting drawn back to do it, because he's in The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix, and he's in the upcoming sequel that's, I think, due out later this year, and he's in this. So why he keeps getting drawn back to do scary projects.
I feel like The Exorcist, because it was the first one to really terrify me.
Yeah.
And it was like stupid. I was like 9 years old when I watched it. Never a good idea.
Very understanding parents.
They were not there, which is how it came about.
Okay.
And then they came to pick me up at a friend's house, and they were like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" So it was like silent. I don't think I spoke for like a good sort of 42 hours. So yeah, 40 hours afterwards. It was not good.
Well, okay. Well, it's left an impression. I know you are working in horror, so that's a good way of working through.
Exactly.
Working through the drama.
Yeah.
Um,
It's all of this is therapy.
It's really
just because of that
expensive
one
therapy.
event. Yeah, exactly.
Great guy, super voice.
Great voice. I think he sounds a bit like Mark Strong.
Wee bit of
He's
that
got
going on,
that. It's got that, and he's very handsome.
He's
When
got
you
a
were
strong
asking him
accent.
that question, I thought you were trying to set him up to be like, because they're easy. That's what it felt like you were going, that he's going to do.
What's
when
easy?
when you were asking him like why he keeps getting drawn back to do horror films. Because he has to do nothing in them. They're easy for
Because
him.
they're easy.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Well,
I
yeah,
thought another slag was going to come. I really did.
I understand why
'Cause
you
it's
think
easy
that.
for you.
You do nothing, mate.
It's to be expected.
Yeah, no. So he gave it's understand. I think it's something you should look into. Maybe doing more horror viewing.
Watching.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Just as a form of.
It's not easy for me.
You
though.
miss out on a gorgeous genre, though.
Okay.
She's not wrong.
She just, in that one sentence, she sold it better than you ever have to me.
Well, I've never tried.
You try every week. Okay, Invisible Man. Is it living up to the hype? Because a lot of people, early word of mouth is like, this is actually a whole lot of fun and properly creepy.
Yeah, like I thought it was great.
I thought it was fantastic.
I thought it was great.
Brilliant.
It has maybe my favorite opening scene in a horror since Scream.
It's a big call.
It is a big call, and it's just from the very even the opening credits where it's the waves just hitting the side of the cliff. You're like, it's unnerving, and then it gets into that opening scene, which is practically silent.
Yeah.
And
terrifying.
really it tucks in immediately. And yeah, then the rest of it plays out, I think, in very interesting ways. There's definitely, because I think we seen the trailer first and we were like, is that most of the film you've just shown us? But there are definitely 2 or 3 scenes in it where it was a surprise.
Yeah, clever jumpy scenes.
Yeah. That I didn't fully anticipate, and I was like, I really appreciated that. And Elisabeth Moss is great.
She's fantastic.
She's so good in this. She's another one of those, it's Florence Pugh, it's Toni Collette, it's Lupita Nyong'o giving these amazing performances in scary movies that just won't get the attention they deserve. But if this is the direction that they're taking these movies, with The Mummy and Creature of the Black Lagoon and stuff, fully on board. Because this was because The Mummy, I think it was 200 million, something lunacy like that. This was 8 million. Yeah.
8 million?
Yeah.
Holy moly. Right.
So,
they're going to make
and I'd say most of that was on her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because she's in the film alone for most of it.
Most of the film.
She's like, I know you're there. Is he? Yeah, because there was some very clever stuff in it where she'd be, again, alone in a house, but the camera would pan away from her and just kind of settle on nothing.
Yeah.
So your eyes does that thing, do you ever watch Paranormal Activity?
Yes.
We are looking
You're
for
waiting
the
for
thing.
something.
Yeah. And then the camera slowly pans back to her, and you're still like, where is it? I know
That's
he's
clever.
in there somewhere.
That's
It
clever.
was
It's like they're anticipating you for a jump but give you nothing. And you're like,
Yeah.
this is worse. This is actually worse.
yeah.
That sounds brilliant. I remember you were saying after you'd seen it as well that it actually, because it's Blumhouse here behind it, who we said have this winning formula of making something for really cheap, but making it connect with audiences in different ways, whether it's something like The Purge, but this is
Or
a lot
Get Out
more
with
kind of, or Get Out.
racism
Yeah.
and
But that's what I mean. It's they go for maybe a trashy side, but something that also has something more serious to say as well.
yeah, this obviously has with a boyfriend thing. It's domestic abuse, and it's gaslighting. And as you find out when she escapes from him after the opening scene, she's told then that he has killed himself, and she has survivor's guilt. And the film plays with the idea that is he even an invisible man, or is it all in her head again? Because
Right,
that's
okay.
he's left her a huge sum of money, but she can only keep access to it if she can prove that if she doesn't break
Doesn't
break the
commit a
law.
crime and prove that she's mentally stable.
Exactly,
Holy moly!
but it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have that money. Somebody
It's like Brewster's Millions, except way less funny.
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
But yeah, so it has the interesting social angle, and yeah, I think it'll generate a lot of think pieces. I think.
Discussion, conversation. Okay, brilliant. Happy days. Well, that's 2 resounding recommendations. So The Invisible Man is out in cinemas this week. So 100% go and see it.
If you can.
If you can. There it is. Our next movie is Downhill. Now, you may remember last week, if you bothered to watch / listen to the show, we were giving away an amazing Downhill prize, which was tickets to go and see an advanced screening of the movie. And also, for one very lucky winner, 4 ski or / snowboarding lessons at the Ski Club of Ireland. Denise, are you a skier?
I'm not.
Okay.
No. Is that the answer you were looking for? No, you
Not
want to be...
particularly, but fine. I'm moving on.
But this is how you learn.
I'm moving on.
Yes.
So out of the winners who did get to go and see the movie a couple of days ago, we will be picking one overall winner, the chosen one, and it won't be Denise, I'll tell you that, to receive that Ski Club of Ireland prize. So stay tuned for that. But the movie itself, starring Will Ferrell and Louis-Dreyfuss, is out in cinemas this week. And before we hear the full or 2/3 review of it, here is a little clip of the movie.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
It looked like it was gonna kill us.
For a moment.
The kids were screaming because it felt like we were gonna die. Pete?
Wow.
And I look over at Pete, and he had grabbed his phone. Pete left us.
Do you like Will Ferrell?
I do. He looks like such an American dad in that film, doesn't he?
Daddy.
No, not a dad.
You said it.
Set him
I
up
said-
for
You
this.
said it.
I said American dad.
E.
Full stop. Yeah, when he's in ski gear, he even looks more like a father.
Thank you. Good.
Let me get my thesaurus.
Male parent. You and I have discussed at length how much we love Julie Louis-Dreyfuss from Seinfeld and SNL and Veep and everything. And the pairing in my head, I was like, oh, this should work quite easily. But then you think her brand of comedy it's slightly different to his, because it feels like her type of comedy is like of a higher IQ.
Yeah.
Whereas his is
Man-child.
screaming at people, but she screams too. But
He screams funny. He's very funny.
yeah,
Screamer.
so but it does seem like two clashing types of comedy. But having watched it, I could say he's brought himself much closer to her brand than the other way around. And I think that's why the film is not landing well, because it was released in the States, I think, 2 weeks ago. Could have been a bit longer. It just hasn't done any business whatsoever. And I think it's because people were expecting a Will Ferrell comedy when this is actually closer to, because it's co-written by the guy who did Succession.
Oh, okay.
Which is just one of the funniest.
Genius.
Yeah, but it's also like, I want to claw my face off because it's so uncomfortable. It's that brand of comedy. So I can imagine people watching this and going, I hate this because it's just cringe, never stops. It's set in the Swedish Alps, I think, or
The Alps, yeah.
Swedish Alps. Rory?
Swedish Alps are
Jeepers.
not a thing.
No, they're not.
I'm sure they've got their own Swedish name for their mountains.
Yikes!
You just call any mountain range the Alps. What are the Sperrins and Derry? Those are the Derry Alps.
I believe
It's fine.
it's the
Wicklow
Swedish
Mountains.
Everest. It's set in the Alps, and the family trip.
Have you heard of the word mountain?
Have I heard of the word mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He calls them all Alps. Even during the summer.
Karen
the Alps.
Toohill,
The Alps were, we hiked the Alps.
Brayhead Alp. So yeah, they're on a family trip to the Alps in Central Europe, let's say, and there's a controlled avalanche. Julia Louis-Dreyfuss grabs her kids to protect them, thinking they're all about to die. Will Ferrell grabs his phone and bails, and she sees that as like the ultimate betrayal of a father. It's like, why wouldn't you try to protect us or stay with us? And his survival instinct kicked in and was like, laters. And it's a remake of a French film. Called
French Norwegian.
See, this is the confusion.
Yeah.
How can that be?
Force
Where are the
majeure.
Alps?
Forget about the Alps for a wee second. But yeah, a remake of Force Majeure, which was critically acclaimed and audiences loved it as well.
It was, but it was not an out comedy. It was a drama that had like some very dark elements, whereas this is a bordering on kind of dark comedy with some dramatic elements. So again, I think this is a matter of expectations. If you go in knowing already that this is not a Will Ferrell. This isn't Blades of Glory or Talladega Nights. This is it's almost like the closest comparison I could think of would be like The English Office. Do you know what I mean? That level of. Like, I know it's funny,
but that's a great
it is, but
recommendation.
But you need to know that, I think.
But that's fine. We're telling people now that's the type of comedy to expect from it, in terms of, especially whenever you said it's written by the guy who's behind Succession as well. Like, fully on board.
Yeah, and there's so many supporting cast members who you'd be like, oh, from Veep and from Succession, or Miranda Otto is in it, and she steals every single scene she's in because she's like an over-sexualized ski instructor, and she's just one of those people who every conversation is like, do you like to masturbate? Like, just like in the middle of a reception, and the two of them are like, oh my God. So every scene she arrives in, she just completely steals it. It's hilarious. But on the flip side, whenever you see Will and Julia like having arguments, you're like, oh, it's done too well.
Okay.
I've seen that argument. I've been in that argument. So it's just something to bear in mind. This is not a Will Ferrell comedy, but it is very, very good.
Okay, brilliant. Happy days. I'm on board. Denise?
Yeah, I think I am
know you
too.
hate skiing.
I don't hate
Exact
skiing.
words.
Strong word. I've never skied. I must go to the Alps. Will you recommend your top 5 Alpine destinations?
Top 5 Alps around the world. So
yeah. All right. Yeah.
Message me. Yeah. You have to think about it. Message me.
I'll give it an L. Think.
Yeah.
You have Big Reviewski'd though.
Yeah.
I have Big Reviewski'd. Yeah.
Which is almost like the real thing.
And I've had Alpine.
You've had Alpine.
2 things,
Okay, fair.
Other cereals are available. Now it's time for our next movie here on the Big Reviewski. It is Dark Waters, starring Mark Ruffalo. And this is... Oh, we did come up with a name for this, but you've seen it, Rory.
Yeah.
I know it has a name already. They've given it an actual title. But let's take a little look at the trailer for Dark Waters, and then we'll come back and we'll reveal the name that we have for it. I've really built up the name way too much. Way too much. I'm so sorry. Here's Dark Waters.
Your grandma tells me her grandson's some fancy environment lawyer down in Cincinnati.
I am a corporate defense attorney.
So?
I defend chemical companies.
Well, now you can defend me.
How many did you lose?
190.
190 cows.
You tell me nothing's wrong here.
It's a small matter for a family friend. Help a guy who needs it.
The farmer or you? That's chemicals, I'm telling you.
I'm seeing documents I don't understand. They're hiding something. That chemical. What if you drank it? Drank it? It's like saying, what if I swallowed a tire?
So Dark Waters, we know in real life Mark Ruffalo is very environmentally conscious, very socially aware of green climate issues. So obviously this movie it's very close to his heart, essentially. But Rory, what's it about?
Well, it's set around the true story of the DuPont scandal from, I think, the mid-noughties in there. Mark Ruffalo plays a lawyer who's working for like a really high-end, prestigious law firm. And he gets a call from a friend of his grandmother from his hometown, like in the middle of like nowhere, America. The Alps in America. Thank you, Denise.
It's not going away.
It's not going away. This is just on my tombstone now. So don't.
Carved from the stone of the Alps.
Okay.
In Belgium.
Just naming random countries. It's amazing. Sorry.
So
Continue.
he goes back down to investigate, and he sees that the local water supply has been highly poisoned. It's killing all the cattle. It's making people around the place very sick. And it's related to DuPont, who created Teflon.
Right.
It goes on the pans and cooking stuff, and it's supposed to keep it non-sticky. But if it doesn't stay on there, apparently, or didn't. And it was slowly poisoning everyone. And they say now, as an actual fact, like every single person in the world now has a small amount of Teflon in them because of this spill. So he takes on the case to, Aaron Brockovich to get the people in the area some money back for all the sickness that it's caused, because it's literally killing people and causing cancers and like ruining their livelihoods. So yeah.
So this is Mark Ruffalo's Aaron Brockovich.
Yes, here we go.
And this is where the alternative title for the movie is
knock it down.
Aaron Frackovich. But Rory then
pointed out the
then
problem.
Rory then told me the problem with that is this is not a movie about fracking. There's no frickin' fracking in it.
No.
Which is
no frickin'
fracking. There's no frickin' fracking.
There's no frickin' fracking.
So the title doesn't even work.
I mean, it's okay. Aaron Frackovich, because Mark Ruffalo in real life is massively
Obsessed
anti-fracking.
with fracking.
Yeah. So he's tweeted about fracking in Ireland, I think.
He has.
So it's the tenuous links are there.
Yeah.
It's just not funny. So
thank you. It's not Alps funny.
It's not. From my view up here on Alps Mountain.
So super cast: Mark Ruffalo, Tim Robbins, Anne Hathaway's in there as well.
Yes, Bill Pullman,
brilliant.
William Jackson Harper, who's Chidi from The Good Place. Yeah, so it's all a fantastic cast. It's directed by Todd Haynes from Carol and Velvet Goldmine and some fantastic movies. And we've interviewed him.
It's a bonus feature. You can go check it out.
It is a bonus feature, and he has some lovely stuff to say, especially about Mark Ruffalo. It's okay. It's not as an interesting or as investing as Aaron Brockovich was, because they still managed to make that entertaining, because her character itself was quite entertaining, whereas Mark Ruffalo's character in this is very almost guarded. It's just very low key, very he doesn't react hugely to anything, and I'm sure that's probably is the case of the person he was playing, but that doesn't make it interesting to watch. Anne Hathaway, it's so bizarre. She's playing you've seen this role normally played by Laura Linney or Ashley Judd. Yes. The wife of the man who is doing the law stuff, and she's at home taking care of the kids, and then one day he's worked too much and she's like, what about us? What about your family? And it's so odd to see Anne Hathaway playing that role, because she seems like she would be a bigger star than Mark Ruffalo. Yeah. And she's barely in it. So I'm sure she was like, oh, this is an important thing, and of course I'd love to be a part of it. So, but that was a bit disconcerting. And the other one is, Bill Camp. He's the guy who actually comes to Mark Ruffalo in the trailer.
He's the farmer, isn't he?
Yes,
right.
He's in everything. Yeah, I know his face.
Character actor.
Exactly. Again,
that guy with the face from The Thing.
That's him. His character in this is so unbelievably unlikable. Immediately, I hated him, and he's meant to be your reason to come in.
Yeah.
And again, I understood why. It's because he's so outraged at what's happening to him. And he just wants help and no one's helping him. And so he arrives in the film already totally pissed off.
Okay.
And just abrasive and just genuinely unlikable. And he does not become likable over the whole course of the film. Which, again, I understood why. It didn't make it fun to watch. Okay. So, yeah, I think in this case, and I know this makes me sound like a real, whatever, but it could have helped to Hollywoodize it up a little bit.
I know what you mean. Change some elements.
Yeah, just to make it a bit more entertaining.
Give it a bit of pizzazz.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. Yeah. So it was just
call it Aaron Frackovich. Get the people
maybe
in.
Not.
Give them what they want.
Daddy Frackovich.
Now you brought that one up.
If someone said there's a film out called Daddy Frackovich, would you not
You'd be all over that.
I would say, where are they streaming that?
So, Dark Waters is out in cinemas this week, but Mark Ruffalo, again, off the back of mainly his performance as Bruce Banner and the Hulk in the Marvel series, has a huge fan base now as well, who will be going to check this out. Maybe in the same way that a lot of Will Ferrell fans will be checking out Downhill, and they're like, oh, this isn't the Mark Ruffalo film I was kind of expecting. Even though he's done a lot of serious heavy lifting drama before.
I think the Hulk would have sorted this problem out much faster.
Definitely. Well, the Hulk is very green aware.
Straight in. I mean, okay. I'll guess.
Thank you. Our final movie that's out this week is Brahms.
She's not giving it.
No.
I actually did go like this.
Oh, a little gentle.
I actually just went like that. Yeah.
Silent applause. What is it? Brahms.
The Boy 2.
The Boy 2.
The Boy 2. The Boy. Like, what was the first movie called?
The Boy.
The Boy. No Brahms. No,
The doll was
The
Brahms,
doll was
though.
called Brahms, but it wasn't in the title of the movie.
No.
Aaron Bramovich.
I
That
like
doesn't
that.
work. Anyway, so the first movie in this, well, not even series, but the first movie to this was a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Seen bits and pieces of it, like, but
Lauren Cohen was the lead lady.
from The Walking Dead.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm going to prelude
Yes.
the clip here with telling you what the plot was.
For that one.
Spoilers, 2016.
Okay, spoilers. So we're getting the spoilers of how that kind of wrapped up.
Yes. So Lauren Cohen is hired to take care of a young boy for a rich family. It's
Brahms.
it's in this, it's in the big house that's you see in the trailer.
Okay.
And she arrives and there's a list of rules, like you have to give him his food every day and change his clothes and no visitors and can't leave him alone and blah, 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 blah.
Gremlins rules.
Pretty much. And there's like, right, he's up in bed, go and introduce yourself. And you go up and it's a doll.
I'm out. I'm gone.
Good night.
I'm like,
And
see you
she-
later. I'm
and
going
she-
to work down the shop. I'm not going to be nanny to this week.
But it's a lot of money and she needs the money.
Okay.
And she needs she just needs to get away from the city for a bit. And she's like, I can do this, it's fine. It's just a doll. What's the problem? And stuff starts to, bump in the night, stuff is moving. She thinks the doll is like following her and stuff. It turns out that the parents of the doll had an actual son
Okay.
who they thought had burned alive in a fire, but he's been living in the walls of the house that they're in.
Yeah.
The real boy has
Yeah.
grown
Yeah, but
up.
he's
okay.
like 17, 18.
Okay,
and
okay.
he's been coming in and like
So he's not
moving stuff
possessing the
around.
doll?
No.
The doll
no.
is still just an inanimate object. Okay, gotcha.
So there's a big fight, and then the teenager is killed again in another house fire. Then actually,
Yeah.
and Lauren Cohen escapes, and everything's fine.
And that's the end of the
That was
first
the
one.
end of the first one.
Boy living inside walls of house.
Yes.
Terrifying.
You know
everybody.
the way you can predict films? Did you see that coming? That he was going to be in the walls?
He's just going to say, yeah.
I don't think I did.
I didn't either.
okay.
It was a big
It was a
shock.
twist?
Yeah.
It was.
Okay,
It was
gotcha.
fairly.
Okay.
It was fairly like I was like it's Annabelle, but
Yeah.
a boy doll.
Yeah.
So that's how that movie ended.
Okay, and now we're back with the sequel a few years later.
Yes, and same writer and director as the original.
Okay.
And now here's a clip from Brahms, The Boy 2, and we're going, when I come back, immediately get into the problem with the sequel.
Okay.
I understand that some of Jude's behaviors would be upsetting, but I urge you to find a place where he feels safe. I think it will be good for him. Good for all of us.
Oh my goodness, look at that. That must be the main house. Come on, Jude.
So, in this one, Katie Holmes, remember her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Katie Holmes and handsome bearded husband, whose name is Owen, so you have that in common.
Hello.
Both of your names are Owen.
Yeah.
But he spells his own O-W-A-I-N.
What is
O-W-A-I-N.
It's like a mixture of like
I've never
Welsh
seen it
and-
spelled that
I've
way.
never seen it that way.
Owain.
Owen. But it's Owen. They have a break-in their like rich London home, and she starts to have like panic attacks and PTSD, and the son was present for the break-in as well. They're like,
They've a wee boy of their own.
yes, an
Not
actual
just an actual real-life boy.
son. Yes. So the dad's like, why don't we, get out of the city for a bit, and they rent a holiday home that's like in the countryside that is somehow attached to the big house from the first one that's like in the middle of being torn down. And then the son gets down and goes into the woods immediately and finds Brahms, the doll,
The doll. Yeah.
buried in the ground.
Uh-huh.
That's not what happened in the first one.
No.
The doll was smashed to bits.
The doll was smashed to bits, wasn't buried in the ground.
No.
Okay.
So he picks it up and then they immediately become like best friends and he starts talking to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out this doll in this movie is possessed by an evil spirit called Brahms from hundreds of years ago.
That's a different
It's a
world.
whole different storyline.
That's a different story.
And they do flashbacks to what happened in the first movie,
Yes.
but tell it completely differently.
As if the doll was possessed?
The doll was possessed and made everyone in the house kill each
what do
other.
you call that? Retconned it, like they've...
By the same people who made the first film.
So they've no excuse.
They were like, fuck it, we'll just start again. But
I
with
actually
Brahms,
wish the first one went like this.
Yeah, I wish I had done this. Yeah.
it was like someone watched the first one and was like, were you not going to make Boy Annabelle? And we're like, oh yeah, we should have. We'll do it this time. And pretend we did it the last time.
Right, so they've just changed the entire...
Yeah.
So instead, because the first one, even though they're hinting at supernatural activity and possession, it's not actually there. It's a real life person who's bonkers and in the walls. But now, magic is it.
Yeah, it's just...
And it's so much better when he was in the walls because the doll's eyes didn't move and stuff like this, and now they do, and it's just a bit like, come on.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's been done.
and for the whole, like, the doll's eyes move and sometimes its heads move, and sometimes if someone's out of the room, you can hear like the porcelain feet or whatever, like hitting the ground, like but then it never does anything.
Okay.
It never actually does anything in this film. So everything that happens is off screen, and it's all been put onto the boy, and then the husband doesn't believe Katie Holmes because he thinks she still has PTSD. It's all invisible man stuff again.
But not as good.
Which is not as good. And she's really good at it.
That was my next question. What's Katie Holmes like? Because
she's
she
really
hasn't
good
been in anything in ages.
She deserves better than Brahms, the boy too.
It's not
like,
what
is
she
the
should have
boy
come
3
back
going to have
from.
Meryl Streep in it or something? just the best of it. Amy Adams, come on, we'll get you that Oscar. It was just, yeah. Oh, okay. I don't know if this is going to play up on screen, but I don't care. So there's a bit in the movie where it's like, if you would like to know the history of your porcelain doll, right?
Is that a real site?
Apparently. Every porcelain doll has a numeric stamp in its hand.
Okay.
So you can type the stamp into this website, and it gives you the full history of the doll, right?
Yeah.
So she finds out that the numeric stamp, she looks at it,
yeah,
just looks at it like on a hand.
Yeah.
And it's H. She writes it down. H606.
606, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
H606. So she types it in, and nothing comes up.
Okay.
What's the first thing you would do?
Turn it upside 909H. There you go. Yeah.
She does this 10 minutes into the film. She does this an hour and a half into the film.
Oh, okay.
Which is the level of intelligence we're working with.
I'm glad we both suggested to turn it upside down. Like, I mean, immediately. You took
I
the
was
words
like, ring
out of our mouths. Phone somebody. Take a winter break at the Alps. I don't know.
Try to
Clear my head.
punch it into the phone. See what happens.
But yeah, no, you're right. That's what we would all do immediately.
Or in a horror film, just run outside screaming.
Okay.
I feel
running.
safe knowing that if I am ever in a horror film situation with you two, you're fixed.
That painting.
This number. Back it. So it's just
Can I ask, is there anything to do with Johannes Brahms, the composer in the movie, or is the boy just called Brahms?
The boy was named after Brahms.
Okay.
And there is a scene in it where, I don't know, where their actual son is playing the piano. Like, you might be able to be like, oh, that was a Brahms piece, but like they never mentioned it was
Brahms
Brahms.
bangers, they're called.
Are they?
Yeah.
And they're like, he's sitting beside the doll. And there was no indication that the doll could play. No,
piano.
there's no indication that the boy could play piano. And Katie Holmes walks in, and the boy's like, da, 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 and she's like, that's beautiful. At no point is she like, you play the piano?
Oh my God, my son, who I've never paid for any piano lessons, is suddenly competent on the piano.
Yeah, so...
Incredible, okay.
There's
so, it doesn't sound fantastic.
It's not good. It's not good.
Okay.
And it wasn't screened for critics.
Okay.
I would watch the first one though.
Okay. It's a pity they've done such a change, or just given up on what they did previously. And anyway, because you can still go somewhere with a creepy boy who lives in the walls, like, who supposedly died in a fire.
I don't think you should go anywhere with a creepy boy.
Well, that's right. Where do you want me to go? I mean, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. Okay, so Brahms, the Boy 2 out this week as well. But some crackers, The Invisible Man,
yes,
Downhill,
yes,
Aaron Frankovich,
Asterix.
and Asterix. Okay, lovely stuff. Right, now. edge of the seat stuff. I know there's a lot of people tuned in live, watching live right now.
The phones are off the hook.
You've probably heard them ringing throughout. As we said, we have to give away our big prize to celebrate the release of Downhill. It was that voucher for 4 free ski/snowboarding lessons at the Ski Club of Ireland in Kilternan in County Dublin. Is County Dublin or County Kildare? It's Dublin.
Ireland. The Alps.
Ireland.
The Alps.
The Alps, yeah.
Kilternan Alps.
Why didn't I think of that?
Because it was funny.
Yeah, it was very funny. So, anyway, you can head over to skiclub.ie for more details on how to get lessons there. But if you are the winner of the competition, you don't need to head over there because we've got your vouchers for you right now. So last week's high clue, first of all, was, if we can see it up on screen, hit at the Oscars. Diva always loves Frank Prince, untouchable voice. So loads of people.
I think you would get this one. Really. Think of
the words.
Think of who's a diva when it comes to mind.
Oh, a lot of people.
Hit at the Oscars.
Well, let's start from Moan.
Yeah.
Diva always loves Frank Prince, untouchable voice. A lot of people got in touch with the correct answer for this one because it was a great prize up for grabs as well.
It's not Beyonce.
It's a movie from the early 90s, 1993, I think.
Ish, yeah.
So I was doing a wee bit of 93. So do I just say the answer?
Yeah.
So the answer is, drum roll please, The Bodyguard.
Okay.
And the reason it's The Bodyguard, because we said so, but if we look at the lines again, look at the middle line. Diva always loves Frank Prince. The diva in this case is Whitney Houston, star of The Bodyguard.
I was actually kind of thinking Whitney Houston.
You were kind of right.
Always love.
Always love, and I will always love you. That's what she sings in it. Frank Prince, his name in the movie is Frank, but he's also very frank and honest as well, because he's like, unless we tell her the truth, I'm not going to do this job, and he's all in that. And then he's her prince, her hero as well, but he also played Prince of Thieves, Robin Hood as well. So there's that in the middle line. Hit at the Oscars. They were nominated for a whole bunch of awards, especially the songs, but the climax of the movie takes place at the Oscars because she's up for an Oscar, her character in the movie. And the hit is going to take place there. She's about to be assassinated, which is why Kevin Costner has to come save her. So hit at the Oscars. And the final line, untouchable voice. She's got an incredible voice, but it's untouchable. No one can get close. And Kevin Costner also starred in The Untouchables. So it's Kevin Costner, Whitney Houston,
They're
The
so
Bodyguard.
intricate. It's difficult because I'm like, I was always bad at riddles. I told you that in primary school. I used to get fair in
You told me
problems.
that in primary school?
We were in primary school together, that's
No, I
right.
told you.
Watching The Ring. Yeah, that's right. Way too young. So The Bodyguard. So congratulations, as we said, to everybody who's already received their tickets. We've been in touch with you. But out of those 10 winners, I want to say they're all at home
They're
with
all
their
sitting here
families,
in
all of that live
invisible
studio
suits.
audience. I want to say a big congratulations to Wayne Walker. You're our overall winner. You have won those tickets to the Ski Club of Ireland, so we'll be in touch and get those out to you as well. And interestingly, Wayne Walker, from where I'm from, Derry, is another word for babysitter.
That's definitely another lie.
It's not it's more because you call kids Waynes in Derry.
Why?
And if you're like a kid, why? It comes from like wee ones.
Okay.
Wee ones, Waynes.
Right.
And then he's a Wayne Walker, so he takes Waynes for a walk. So it's babysitter. It's a bit of a stretch. Anyway, Wayne Walker, you won that. This week's High Clue, we've got an amazing prize up for grabs again. Look at this. Because Birds of Prey is in cinemas at the moment, look at this. We've got what do you call these types of bags?
Tote bag.
Tote bag.
Yeah.
Totes and mosh. Here we go. It's a Birds of Prey goodie bag. We have got like wee Birds of Prey bits and pieces, niggly bits there. A mallet. A Harley Quinn mallet, which would be amazing, an inflatable one.
Should be inflated.
That's not. It's going to be inflated. Just add water. You're stored it. Let's see what else we got. A T-shirt. Look at this. Look at this. This is amazing. I think it's a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Got that as well. What's on there? Oh, it's all of the Birds of Prey together.
And Bruce the hyena.
And Bruce the hyena as well, named after Bruce Forsyth. That's the one. Big fan. This is my favourite bit. Look, you also get this Birds of Prey mug, which has a knuckle duster handle.
Yeah, very cool.
Look at that. That's dangerous, but also amazing.
It's a cup and a weapon.
Yeah, look, there you go. Cup of tea. Do you want a cup of tea? I'll give you a cup of tea. I won't. So we do have that up for grabs. So if you get the answer to this week's haiku, you will be in with a chance of winning one of these Birds of Prey goodie bags. Isn't that nice?
I think it's lovely. Yeah,
Isn't that nice?
really,
There you
really
go.
cool.
And you'll stand out from the crowd as well.
You won't lose that.
You're like, oh my God, did you win that in the Big Reviewski? You're so cool. Let's take a look at this week's haiku.
You've got some thread in you.
Oh, God, I've got red on you. Film fans. Right, here it is. Cockney,
My God.
you know who. Graves after bullseye is off. Guard in placid spot. Rory is scribbling something down frantically.
How?
He always predicts the end. That's what it is. So Cockney, you know who. Graves after bullseye is off. Guard in placid spot. Yeah, there's nothing really to say in addition to that.
Good.
So as we said, we'll put it.
Because that's enough.
Because that's enough. You think that's too easy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Speak for yourself.
I know exactly. Oh, Denise sneaking a peek.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Don't say it out loud.
The answer is.
Oh my God. But yeah, so again, we'll stick that up online. And if you do know the answer, let us know and we will put you in the draw to win one of those very cool Birds of Prey goodie bags. That's pretty much it for this week. Do we do someone? Cockney, you know who. 5 Graves after bullseye is off. 7 Guard in placid spot. 5 7 5.
You did it. You did it.
Coming up on next week's show, very excited about this. We're going to have a look at Pixar's brand new movie, Onward, starring the voice talents of Tom Holland and Chris Pratt.
Yeah. We'll also have Jason Blum on.
Jason Blum is going to be on the show.
Yeah.
The Jason Blum from House of Blum.
House of Bloom.
Blum. It's a good word to say.
Blum.
And before we go,
on.
We got fan mail.
What?
You've got fan mail.
Is this a new segment on the show?
I hope so.
Okay.
So this arrived to the
Wait. Do we need like masks, medical masks?
No, I think it
Has this been checked?
It hasn't. It's not international.
It's not international. Okay.
It's from the
Maybe
big,
me and Denise will just
the
stand
Big
over the other
Reviewski
side of the room.
team.
Nice.
So
All
beautiful
spelled.
handwriting, may I add? Yeah, very in line.
This
like
is
it was
a-
done with a ruler.
Oh my! Well,
I think it was done with a pen, but yeah. All right.
Yeah.
so inside
What is this?
there's a letter with a
crest?
crest and everything.
Like a family crest?
Yeah. Oh, that's what
Is this the start of a horror movie?
It says,
The Big Reviewski, you have been summoned.
I won't say the name of the family crest, but it does say underneath it, a corporation.
Okay. Oh, lads, we're in a movie. This is amazing. Yeah.
So it starts off. Do you want to just read that first line there?
Dear Sir /Madame /Rory Sweater.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
it's been addressed
Specifically talking
specifically
about
to,
your jumpers.
and then there's a lengthy letter in response to the episode where we broke down the maddest
stop.
moments of the Fast and Furious 9 trailer.
Oh, yeah, we all picked our favourite moments of that bonkers trailer.
We absolutely did. And we had a bit of a running joke about one of the lines of dialogue, I think. No, it was the tagline for the movie.
Not the Magna Car stuff.
No. It was the actual tagline. It
The
was,
actual tagline.
not all family is blood.
Oh, yeah, we were very confused by that.
Yeah, because it doesn't make any sense. But then Justine
It doesn't.
I think it was Justine and yourself correctly pointed out that like some D-bag eventually is going to get that as a tattoo because
100%.
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah,
you know
yeah. It means
Sounds
everything
cool.
to them.
iconic.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
iconic. So along with the lovely letter, they have given us
That is so
Tattoo transfers.
cool.
What is it? Wait, can I see this? Look at
tattoo
this.
transfers with not all blood is family.
I don't know. I'm gonna come over to this camera for a
luck.
wee second, just to bring it a wee bit closer so you can see. Slow zoom, slow zoom, slow zoom. So it's a wee bit backwards. Let's see if we get it into the light. But yeah, so not all blood is family. Is that the Fast Furious font as well?
Yes, it is. And can
lads,
you read the teeny writing underneath that?
There's a wee bit underneath. Save. I can read.
Backwards.
The words are backwards. So I'm going to save all work before pressing F. save all work before pressing F9.
Yeah.
Amazing, because the movie's called F9, and we had a crap joke about if you press F9 that the trailer automatically plays.
Yeah.
There's a lot of effort has gone into that.
So that
And
was-
even this letter is just stunning.
Yeah,
The layout is
who are
fabulous.
we thanking?
We'll say Connor.
Connor, thank you so much. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless.
There's a lot of
But thank
emotion.
you.
I think you should put on all 8 tattoos today.
Today,
Yeah.
walking around. Paul? No, Paul.
Paul is here.
Where's he moved? Paul.
Paul? Paul, get down.
Justine. There's enough to go around. This is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about this. This is our first bit of fan mail.
That I'm aware of, yeah. I think the rest had to be destroyed before you were brought up, to be honest. But, yeah, so
That's made my day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we gonna? Should we? So I think we should just go to the tattoo shop and just get a proper
Get
one.
the
I
real
think
ones.
so,
I'm going
yeah.
to hang on to these.
Yeah.
Where we get it done?
Somewhere in town?
Nice.
I mean,
it was nice. It was good. I was like, which way is it going to go? It's good. Comedy genius. Comedy genius. We got to snort. Listen.
Ourselves? We buy a kit on eBay.
Oh, that hit me just right.
Listen.
I needed that.
It's been swell having everybody watching and listening. Thank you so much. As we said, don't forget to subscribe. Check out our bonus features. We do have some new bonus features. Rory is now crying. Happy tears.
No,
Happy
there's loads could come and there's loads to come as well.
Loads to come and loads to come. Okay.
They're on this internet.
Okay, listen. Again, thank you, Connor. Thank you so much, and to the rest of you as well. Congratulations to Wayne Walker as well in town.
That's great.
And a massive thank you to Denise for everything.
Thank you.
For all your previous cameo appearances as well.
Thank you
It's
so much.
appreciated.
It's been a wild ride.
Hasn't
and
it?
a fun one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say. Not all blood is family.
I know.
Not all blood
Off
is
to the
family.
shops we go now.
Not all blood is family. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.